Good. We are live. Awesome. So, welcome. Another beautiful day in paradise. And today, we're just going to start on the ground. So, let's do our crisscross applesauce here this morning. Got a new mic ordered. One of my mentors online, I was asking about wireless mics. So, I noticed with the audio, it's not that great with Zoom, and I want to keep going with Zoom. This has been fun. So, it may seem so far away to start live classes. Okay, so let's sit up nice and tall. Like roll those shoulders down and back. You're having your hands resting on your knees or in your lap, and let's just close our eyes. And coming into our space and letting go of our day so far and our day to come, and just be present with me for the next hour or so. So as we're sitting up nice and tall, eyes are closed, let's just pay attention to the sounds around us. And sounds inside the room. Maybe there's some sounds outside, the wind. What do you taste? Any hints of toothpaste or coffee in your mouth? Just notice that. What do you smell? I know I smell citronella this morning. Any sound or smells in the room? Now, what are you seeing? Any flashes of light or just darkness? Okay. Lastly, what are you feeling? You feel the temperature of the air on your skin. Feel yourself sitting on the floor. Feel the weight of your clothes. Let's place our left hand on our heart and our right hand on our left. And just bringing those five senses in towards your heart, bringing you right here, right now. Now let's set our intention for our practice today. So our intention or our focus, where do you want that to go today? Is it just to be mindful throughout your practice? Pay attention to your breath. Do your best and leave the rest. What is your intention today? And bring that intention in towards your heart, and from your heart, send it out through the crown of your head, your crown chakra, into the universe, and let it go. Now that we've made room in our heart, let's bring gratitude in. Gratitude for this space, this time, this body that got us here this morning. Miracles. So bringing that gratitude in towards your heart, and from your heart, send it through the crown of your head into the universe, and just let it go. Do our body scan here. So just visualize that beam of light moving from the crown of your head down to the bottom of your feet. Just noticing how you're feeling this morning. Any little tensions or stresses built up from the night or the day or the week. Just notice where they are in your body. No judgment, just an awareness. All right, just finishing off that body scan. bring our wrists or our hands together and just like build a little fire here. Warming up our hands. And then cupping our hands and placing them close towards our nose and just taking a few deep breaths. Just noticing those hands vibrating. Pretty cool. Well, let's slowly bring those hands down. And just slowly flutter our eyes open. And turning up the corners of our mouth. Yeah, let's slowly start to rock from side to side. I'm still kind of waking up here. Did my little walk on the beach this morning. And, oh my God, Jen, you're gonna love it down here. Just rocking from side to side again, still bringing in that awareness. Notice if there's anything going on in that lower back or the shoulders. Well, let's place one hand onto the earth and we're going to bring that other hand up and over. Inhale brings us back up. We're going to bring that hand down. We're going to bring the other hand up and over. All right, stretch there. Let's bring that hand down again. The other hand comes up and over again. Now this time as we inhale it back up, let's look up towards the sky. Beautiful day here. And then as we exhale, let's bow down towards that knee. Inhale brings us back up, looking up towards the sky. And let's slowly bring that hand back onto the earth as we bring that other hand up and over. Good, bringing that chin in towards your heart. And then as we inhale, looking up towards that sky, big inhale. And then as we exhale, let's bow down towards that other knee. Inhale brings us back up again, looking up. All right, let's bring that other hand to meet that hand up above our heart or above our head. Sorry. And then exhale, let's bring those hands onto the earth. Oh, and a little wiggle, wiggle from side to side here. Or maybe there might be one side you just want to kind of linger a little bit longer. Or maybe the other side. And let's walk those hands back towards us and then bringing our hands behind us. Fingertips can be either facing away from us or towards us, and then opening up our heart. Again, gently swaying from side to side. This helps us discover, what's going on in our body today. Like, oh, how's that neck, shoulders, just always exploring, not going numb. Let's bring the soles of our feet together. So cobbler's pose. And just gently rocking from side to side again here. Really opening that heart up towards the sky. And let's slowly bring those hands back around. One hand, the other. And checking out my new pedicure I had yesterday. So awesome down here. Just they come right to your house. Love that. Might be not as fancy as going to a place, but yeah, great job. Yeah, $30 done. Good. So leading with our chin and our heart, just coming down towards those toes, moving our head from side to side. Big inhale, bigger exhale. On our next inhale, let's bring ourselves back up. Hands on outside of the knees, let's bring them together, just like a book. If you're going to book club today. And let's wrap our arms around our knees sitting up nice and tall. And then as we exhale, let's bring our chin in towards our heart and just rounding that back behind us. Oh, maybe wiggle, wiggle here too. And then inhale, lengthening up, maybe even looking up and checking in with that neck again. And then exhale, rounding our back towards those knees again. Let's do that round one more time. Let's inhale, lengthen up, drop those shoulders away from the ears, maybe even rocking from side to side. And then exhale, rounding our back. Awesome. All right. Now let's swing those legs around and come into our hands and knees. And I've got my strap handy. We're not going to use it right now, but if you're just joining us on the recording, just have a strap nearby for later on for the excitement. So making sure that our knees are right underneath our hips and our wrists are right underneath our shoulders. Here comes the little lady. Buenos dias, D. We're just in our table pose right now, D. So having our knees right underneath our hips, our wrists right underneath our shoulders, and we're just going to sway those hips from side to side. And we're just still exploring our body this morning. Moving those hips from side to side. And then let's bring those hips up towards our wrists. And then the hips down towards our heels. Inhale brings us back up, coming back into those hands and knees. Yeah. We just did this in ball, but you know, it never hurts to do another cat-cow round. So as we inhale, drop that belly down towards the earth, and then slowly lengthening and looking up towards the sky. So moving those shoulders away from your ears. And then as you exhale, let's round our back up towards the sky, bringing that chin in towards our heart. Top of the head reaches down towards the ground as you exhale. And then this time as we inhale, drop that belly down, looking up towards the sky. Maybe this time you want to kind of lift and drift here, just moving things from side to side. Nothing's really static in yoga. Always moving, always flowing. And then rounding our back up towards the sky. Maybe, yeah, we're flowing from side to side here, keeping everything fluid and flowy. And then inhale, bringing it forward. And then exhale, rounding our back again. Good, and bringing it back to center here. Bringing our knees a little bit closer towards each other now. We're going to extend that right leg nice and long, keeping those toes tucked on the earth. Good. So the top of our head and that right heel are reaching the opposite direction. You have to say good morning to your hamstrings. And let's bring that right knee in. Let's extend that left leg nice and long again. Keeping those toes on the earth, so that left heel, crown of the head, reaching opposite direction. And just noticing if this side's maybe a little bit tighter than the other side. Doesn't matter, just an awareness. Okay, let's bring that left knee in. Let's extend that right leg nice and long again. So top of the head and that right heel reaching opposite direction. And this time, let's slowly lift that right leg off the ground, keeping those right toes looking down towards the earth. Hips are facing down towards the earth. Good. Hands are right underneath our shoulders, on blocks or on the earth. And then let's see if we can extend that left arm forward. So those left fingertips and right toes are reaching the opposite direction. And let's rotate our wrists and the ankle here. So slowly going in one direction and then the other. And let's place that left hand back down on the ground. Let's bring that right knee down. And let's just sway that from side to side, back and forth. All right. Bringing those knees a little bit closer towards each other again. And let's extend that left leg nice and long, keeping those toes tucked first of all. And then let that left leg drift off the earth, keeping those toes looking down towards the earth. Hips are facing down towards the earth. And let's reach that right hand, right arm straight off the front of your mat. Really lengthening here. Ooh, and let's rotate our wrists and ankle here. So slowly going in one direction and then the other. And then reaching those fingertips and toes in opposite direction again, really lengthening, lengthen. And let's bring that right hand down. Let's bring that left knee down. And let's move that from side to side again. Now we've been on our hands and knees for a bit. Always nice to do just to release our wrists. So a couple different options. You can bring the backs of your hands onto the earth, open up those wrists. Really nice to do since we're on our devices a lot too, just to give these wrists some love. You can shake them out as well. Or you can spin your fingers away from each other and then pointing your fingers towards your knees. Nope your wrists that way too. And again, you can do one at a time if that's just a little bit too much sensation. You find which way works for you or all of the above. Good, and shake that out again. Let's come back onto our hands and knees. So wrists right underneath our shoulders, knees right underneath our hips. And we're going to extend one leg nice and long again, keeping those toes tucked on the earth. I've got my blocks here. I'm just going to put it down on the lowest because I'm going to move myself into plank pose. So just keeping myself nice and safe. I know my blocks won't tip over if I have it on the lowest level. And then extending that left leg nice and long. So here we are in plank pose. So with plank pose, it's nice to really engage that core. So bringing the belly in towards the spine, keeping it nice and strong, dropping those hips down towards so your back and neck are nice and long, one straight line. The crown of your head and the heels are reaching the opposite direction. And knowing that you can bring one knee down at any time. That's just a little bit too much this morning. Just bring one knee down, no worries. Maybe bring two knees down, no worries. So the crown of your head, and maybe moving that head from side to side. Just releasing any stress, having a calm breath. Now let's bring one knee down and then the other. And get my blocks out of the way. My hands are right underneath my shoulders. And we're going to come all the way onto the ground. Make sure that you guys can still see me here. Good. So bringing it all the way down, having those hands right underneath your shoulders, fingers nice and spread. And let's lift up one leg, kind of pointing those toes, kind of lengthening one side. Let's do that on the other side. So lifting one leg, lengthening, placing it back down on the ground. So back and neck nice and long. Hands are right underneath your shoulders. And now our next inhale, we're just going to come off the earth, just so our heart is a little bit further away from the earth. So just a little bit. And those elbows are tucked in towards your ribs. And we're going to inhale that up, just so you can feel, whoo, that's a little bit of sensation first thing in the morning. So don't want to get too much. We're just going to do things in threes, as always. So if that's just perfect right here, you don't want to put too much stress or sensation in that lower back. Just staying here, just looking over one shoulder and then the other shoulder. And slowly bring it down to the earth. Keeping those hands where they are. Let's just walk those or rock those hips from side to side. Just releasing that stress that we just created. Now bringing it back to center. Those hands are still right underneath your shoulders, fingers nice and spread, elbows tucked in towards your ribs. Let's see if we can bring that heart off the ground a little bit more. But again, checking in with that lower back. You want to ask permission. That's just enough for you this morning. Perfect. I did Pilates the other day, got a little bit too excited about that. Yeah, my back, I didn't ask permission. Silly me. Yeah, it hurt for the rest of the day. So just take your time. And then exhale, bring your chin back down towards the earth and just rocking those hips from side to side. Just release and relax that lower back. All right, remember, good things happen in threes. Let's push off into those hands. See if we can bring ourselves just a little bit higher this time. Again, just to where you stop. So check in with that lower back. Okay, don't be silly. And looking over one shoulder and then the other. And don't forget to breathe in this pose. A lot of times it gets we can forget to do that. You just kind of, I come up and yeah, breathe. Number one, always breathe. Good. Let's slowly bring it back down. Let's rock those hips from side to side. Oh, yeah, that feels great already. Good. So having those hands still underneath your shoulders, let's push ourselves back into that table pose. Rocking those hips from side to side again. And you can stay right here. Or you can come back into that plank pose. Engage that core, meaning just bringing that belly in towards your spine. Keep it nice and strong. And then, if you like, let's bring those hips up towards the sky, coming into downward facing dog. So those ears are going to come in between your elbows-ish. Remember, everything's kind of ish. That is the goal here. You want your back and neck nice and long. You're not so much worried about these legs. The intention in this pose is in the back and neck. So if the legs are straight or they're not straight, it doesn't really matter too much. You want the lengthening in the back. So if you have a deep bend in those knees to begin with, awesome. Maybe the ears can come in between the elbows a little bit more. And then bringing those hips a little bit higher towards the sky. So it's coming up onto those tippy toes. And then exhale, let's drift those heels down towards the earth. Again, it probably won't come close to the earth, and that's okay. Remember, the intention is in the back and neck and head. Let's bring ourselves onto those tippy toes again. Bring them up. And then exhale, drift them back down. Ooh, good things happen to threes. Let's do it one more time. Let's come way up on those tippy toes. And bring it back down. Awesome. Now let's slowly look towards our thumbs. And we're going to walk our feet towards those thumbs. So walking, maybe moving from side to side. I'm taking a course right now for yoga teachers and Thai. Oh, wouldn't that be great at the Mitchell's Bay? So yeah, I'm checking on that, and it's all about swaying from side to side. You're always moving and flowing. It's really cool practice. Anyway, so now we're at the top of our mat in forward fold. Our feet are about hip distance apart. So hip distance if we brought our wrists together and put those fists in between our feet. So our hips are not as wide as we think. All right, and just hanging out in our forward fold, feeling the backs of our legs. could be a nice bend in those knees or not at all. Again, you want to feel what's going on the back of that leg. So if it's too much sensation, just bend those knees till you're ready. Okay, and just letting those fingertips drop down towards the earth. Maybe moving the head from side to side. Just dangling it out. Now this time we're going to take a deep bend in those knees. And we're going to bring those arms forward as we lift up those toes. We'll take the stress out of those knees. So bringing those hands, those arms forward, coming into our baby chair pose. And then as we inhale, bring those fingertips back onto the earth, just a little bit of a rest. So that was baby bear's chair. Let's see if mama bear's chair is a little bit more comfortable. So bringing it back to center, deep bend in those knees, arms come forward, toes come up, and we're going to bring those arms a little bit higher up. And then as we exhale, let's drop back into that chair. Oh, yeah, I'm not sure if this is actually more comfortable. All right, let's drop those hands down towards the earth and just a little bit of a relaxing pose here as we come into our Papa Bear chair. So we're going to bring those hands up in front and bring them up towards the sky a little bit more. And then exhale, drop those heels or hips down towards the heels, lifting up the toes, bring the shoulders away from the ears. Good. And let's do little pulses here, guys. Little pulse, wake up those legs. Ooh. All right. Oh, let's slowly push off into those feet. Let's bring it high to the sky. Let's reach it out. So bringing our arms up towards the sky as we're reaching from side to side, like we're picking coconuts. Costa Rica. So reaching from side to side, back and forth. Oh. All right. Now you got a strap handy. Strap, scarf, piece of string, or nothing at all. But I'm going to use my strap here this morning. So still standing up nice and tall. Feet are nice and wide, just a little bit wider than hip distance here. We're going to roll those shoulders down and back. Strap in both hands. We're going to lift those arms up towards the sky. And maybe even look up towards that strap. And let's slowly bring that strap over towards one side. Again, just to where you stop. Oh yeah, that's a big opening. Yeah, I like it here. Good, let's inhale that back up, maybe even look up, and exhale over towards the other side. Inhale that back up and look up, maybe even opening up the heart a little bit more. So bringing that strap back behind your head. But again, pay attention to that neck, pay attention to the shoulders. Everybody's cool. All right, let's slowly bring it back. Now let's keep that strap in that right hand as we fold it in half. And I'm going to loop that strap around my right thumb and bring that strap behind you. And grab a hold of that strap with the other hand. You see what I'm doing? So we're just really opening up our heart. And we really start to really fold forward and get, we kind of shield ourselves as that cold comes in. So we just want to counterpose that by opening that up today. So bringing those elbows away from each other and bringing them back behind us, really opening up that heart. This is called cow's face pose. Again, no idea why, it doesn't make sense, but that's the Buddhist for you. Good. Now let's release that hand that's behind you and let's bring that arm way out in front. That's got the strap around the thumb and bring it around forward. Oh, that feels good. All right, let's release that down, take things out. All right, let's do that on the other side. I'm going to take that strap or your scarf or whatever you have, just fold it in half, have it draping off that left thumb this time, and bring it back behind you again. And that right hand's going to grab a hold of those other ends of the strap. And let's reach it forward. And bringing those elbows back behind us, really open it up. Maybe even looking up towards the sky, but ask permission. Maybe moving that head from side to side if that feels okay. Good. We'll just stay here for a couple more deep breaths. And let's release that back hand. Bring that other arm in front. And swing it around. Oh. Let's move our ear towards one shoulder and then towards the other shoulder. Awesome. And bring it back to center and you shake things out. All right. Well, we're already holding our strap or whatever today. So let's bring that into our balance today. One of my favorite poses to do with this. So you can either have your strap folded in half, like mine's nice and long, so it's 6 foot. So I'm going to fold it in half and I'm going to place it about mid shin on my right side. Okay, so mid shin. And then I'm going to bring both straps into that right hand. That left hand's going to come onto my hip. So I'm going to bring that right leg behind it, me having that right knee pointing down towards the earth. I'm really opening up that heart again. And something to look at always helps. Calm your breath. It's only balance. All right. Doing great. Now let's release that left hand and let's bring it forward and bringing that right leg back behind us. Yes. All right. Staying here for a couple more deep breaths. Maybe that hand can extend a little bit further out. Maybe that leg can extend back a further out. Oh, got cocky there. And let's bring it down. Let's check it out. Good. All right, moving those hips from side to side. Let those hips come back. All righty. So I'm going to place my weight in that right leg this time. And place that strap mid left shin. Both straps in that left hand. Left leg behind me. Left knee pointing down towards the earth. Right hand on the hip. And take your time. Calm your breath. Now you can stay right here. Or if you want to release that right hand and bring it forward, bringing that left leg behind you. And just take your time. Coming a little bit further, a little bit further. All right, let's stay 2 more deep breaths. Let's inhale that back up. And then shake it out. All right, shake out those legs. All right, I don't know about you, but I rock that. It's a good balanced day. Yay, Jen. Got to celebrate these little things, right? Let's come to the top of our mat now. having our feet about hip distance apart, fingertips pointing down towards the earth. And let's roll those shoulders down and back. So we're really opening up that heart again. And then on our next inhale, let's bring those hands high to the sky. And maybe the thumbs touch, maybe they don't, no big deal. And then exhale, let's bring those hands back behind or down beside us as we bend those knees. As we inhale it back up, maybe look up towards those thumbs. And then exhale brings us back down, chin tucks in towards your heart. Let's do that one more time. Inhale it up. And big exhale down. Now we're going to move on from this. We're going to inhale it up. And hinging from the hip, leading with our heart and our chin, folding down. So maybe those fingertips come onto the earth or onto your shins or onto your blocks. And we're going to bring those fingertips onto your shins as we inhale it halfway up. So just below the kneecaps. And then exhale brings us back down. We're going to push off into those feet and let's bring it high to the sky. Say hello. And then exhale, let's fold forward again, leading with our heart and our chin, little bend in those knees. Fingertips touch the earth or onto your shins as we inhale it halfway up. Exhale back down. Push off into those feet. Let's bring it high to the sky. And then exhale, let's bring it all the way down. All right, last time, we're going to push off into those feet. Let's bring it high to the sky. And then exhale, leading with our heart and our chin. Bring those hands to rest on the earth this time. Now I've got my blocks, so I'm going to use them. I'm going to bring that right foot way on back and kind of even widen my stance here. So we're not on a tightrope here. We're on a nice mat. So let's widen our stance so we come into another balance pose, and we want to set ourselves up for success. So we're just going to widen our stance here, making sure that left knee is not too far forward of that left ankle. Nice bend in that right knee. And we're going to slowly bring ourselves up. So maybe you can have a little rest on that left knee coming up, or just come all the way up. Ooh, good job. And let's bring those hands up towards the sky again. Oh, good. And let's do little pulses here. So pulsing those hips down towards the earth. Big inhale, bigger exhale. All right. Good. And let's drop those hips down towards the earth and pay attention to those knees. Everything feels good. Woo. All right, let's bring those hands back down onto the earth or onto our blocks. Push off with that right foot. Let's bring it up to the left. And let's just hang out in our forward fold. Now this time, let's grab opposite elbows. And let's sway that from side to side. Bringing our chin in towards our heart. So top of the head drops down towards the ground. And just let that dangle. Just move it from side to side. Good. Just letting those hips catch up. We're good to go now. Now let's bring that left leg nice and long behind us, keeping those toes tucked on the earth, deep bend in that left knee. Remember, we're going to widen that stance again, maybe walking that right foot towards the long side of our mat. Maybe that other foot. Again, just a nice wide stance, set ourselves up, deep bend in those knees. Again, you can stop at that right knee as you slowly bring yourself up and bring yourself all the way up and reaching those fingertips up toward the sky. Yes, good job. And let's drop those hips down towards the earth and then bring them up towards the sky. A little pulses on this side. You can do it a little bit faster, a little bit slower, whatever you want to do here. Ooh. Awesome. Good. Now this time let's drop those hips down. Let's stay right there. Whew, a little bit of a challenge. Wakey, wakey those legs. Now let's slowly bring those hands all the way onto the blocks or onto the earth as we push off with that back foot, bring it up to the other foot, and hang out in that forward fold again. Now this time, let's just see what's going on with those hamstrings this morning. We've touched on them a few times. So straightening those legs out. And yeah, that's a lot of sensation this morning. Oh, but it feels a little bit more open than just a mere 30 minutes ago. It's a great job. Good. Now let's take that left foot and let's bring it way back behind us again. And this time we're going to release the left heel down to the ground and we're going to windmill ourselves all the way up. Great. So we're not going to do our warriors today, but we're going to do some other stuff. So we'll have a nice wide stance here. So standing wide-legged pose. So both toes are facing towards the long side of our mat. A little bend in those knees. We're going to place our hands on our hips. Maybe opening our heart up towards the sky. And then as we exhale, a little bend in those knees. Now we're going to come forward and just about halfway. So just your back and neck parallel to the earth. And then we're going to inhale that back up. Maybe looking up towards the sky. And really extending that chin up towards the sky. That feels okay. Dropping the shoulders away from the ears. And then as we exhale, let's come forward again, just to about halfway. Let's inhale it back up. Look up. And then exhale. Let's come all the way down this time. So our hands are going to drop right underneath our shoulders, resting on the earth or onto our blocks. Awesome. Chin tucks in towards our heart. Top of the head down towards the ground. Little bend in those knees. Let's just move that head from side to side. Just dangle it out. Notice how it feels in this pose. And let's walk our feet a little bit closer towards each other while we're in this pose. And dropping those hips down towards our heels or towards the earth. And we're going to place one hand onto our thigh and then the other. And let's bring ourselves up a little bit. And let's bring those hands into goddess pose. So we've got our sumo squat kind of thing going on, or our goddess legs, and then our goddess arms. So that sounds a little bit better than sumo wrestlers. So dropping those hips down towards the earth as we bring those elbows way back behind. It's really opening up our heart today. And let's do little pulses here. Like, oh no, more legs. Yeah, more legs. Little pulses. Breathing always makes it better. Yes. Now on our next inhale, let's reach those fingertips up towards the sky. Wiggle those feet a little bit closer towards each other. A little bit more. And let's bring our hands into prayer. And let's bring it all the way down. So dropping those hips down towards the earth. And maybe right here, you know what, that's enough. I gotta rest my hands on my thighs. That's great. Maybe the elbows come in between, just on the inside of those knees. That works too. We've got some awesome blocks here. We can sit down on those blocks. So you can feel that intention, though, even though we've kind of taken, a cheater pose here, but the intention is opening up the channels in our legs, and we're still doing that. So it was just given a little bit more of a challenge. So you pick your pose here, what you'd like. And let's drop that right hand down onto the ground, keeping that right arm still on the inside of that right knee as we reach that left hand up towards the sky. This is where we get to rotate that wrist again. So slowly going in one direction and then the other. Let's slowly bring that left hand back onto the earth, resting it to the inside of that left knee. And let's reach that right hand up toward the sky and slowly rotating that wrist in one direction and then the other. Yes. Good. Let's slowly bring that right hand back down. If you're sitting on blocks, you can get those blocks out of the way. Then we're going to scooch one hip onto the earth and bring those legs out in front. Yay. Now still keeping that strap nice and handy for when we come down. We're going to take a little boat ride. I went for a boat ride, a taxi ride. Taxi ride in a boat the other day. How fun is that? So cool down here. Oh, by the way, I checked in with one of the houses that would be perfect for a retreat the other day because there's a retreat going on there right now. And I introduced myself, told her what I wanted, and she's actually a retreat organizer that's doing it right now. So we have a meeting later on this month. So I'm super excited. So stay tuned for that, guys. Yeah, things are coming together. That vision board and power word coming together. Awesome. So having those heels resting on the earth, toes pointing up towards the sky, deep bend in those knees. And let's bring our hands behind us today. And having those fingertips pointing towards your sitting bones. Now let's lift one leg up and then the other. Ooh, there's our boat ride today. Good. You can stay right here. Or a little challenge this morning, we can push those toes away from us as we inhale. And then as we exhale, let's bring those knees in towards our heart. Inhale, brings those toes away. And then exhale, bring those knees in. All right, let's do that 50 more times. I know, I have to do at least one practice. Inhale it out. Exhale. Good, let's place those feet back onto the earth. And bringing those hands out in front, let's tuck our chin in towards our heart and slowly, slowly roll ourselves all the way down. Woo. Bringing those arms up above our head. Really stretch it out here, lengthening one leg and then the other. Really opening our hearts up toward the sky. Let's open. Good, good. And let's bring our hands back down beside us. Oh, I don't know where the hour goes. But we've got our strap or scarf or whatever. We're going to bend that right knee and place the strap in the ball of that right foot. So that other knee is bent, left foot's on the ground, and that right foot is in that strap. And hopefully it's long enough that you can kind of rest your elbows on the earth. So you can just, let that strap do all the work here. So it's been very much hamstring kind of practice today. I never know what's going to come out of me, just kind of whatever's speaking me from moment to moment. It's kind of cool when you've been teaching for 10 years, you just kind of go by intuition. What not only you need, but hopefully your students need at the same time. It's hamstring practice today. So just letting that foot just resting in that strap. You're going to place both ends of that strap in that right hand, and that left arm's going to come straight out from the left shoulder, palm facing down to support you. And leading with that right heel, we're going to let that right leg fall way out to the right. Keeping that left knee, that left leg still supported. It's not wonky out to one side or the other. Still really supported, very active. That right leg's way out to the side. Again, just to where you stop. Okay, so it doesn't have to be to the floor or whatever. Just opening up those channels, letting that blood flow. Always an intention in all of our practices. Now on our next inhale, let's slowly bring that leg back up. Bring it all the way back to center. And let's even go a little past center. Again, it doesn't have to be very much. Ooh, all of a sudden we're on the outside of that hip. Yes. That external rotation in that hip now. Good. Let's inhale that right leg back to center. Take a bend in that right knee. Let's place that right leg on top of the left. So our number 4 shape. Love this pose. Very accessible pose, very safe pose. So number 4 shape with our legs, we're gonna place that strap just behind that left thigh. Again, you can use your interlace if you don't wanna bother with the strap or don't have the strap, that's cool too. But you can really relax into this pose by letting the strap do all the work. So bringing that strap in, bringing those legs in just to where they stop. So those right toes are still really engaged, pointing up towards that right knee. And then that left foot is just hanging out like it's at the pool hall in the 80s. All right, remember those days? Let's just do some deep breaths here. Just checking in on the intention on that right hip. Yeah, is that too much today? Not enough? You know, you can always adjust this pose by bringing it in, letting it out. You get to be the bus driver. A couple more deep breaths. Good. Let's slowly release that strap so we can let that left foot fall back onto the ground. Keeping that number 4 shape. We're going to scooch that left hip under and slowly bring our legs over towards the left side of our mat. Shoulders are still rooted on the earth. Arms are straight out from our shoulders and the palms are facing down. Oh yeah. We're getting a couple different things going on in this pose. We're still opening up that right hip. We're twisting a little bit more. And speaking of which, want a little bit more twist. You can slowly look towards that right thumb. And let's just rest here. Focusing on the breath coming in and out. Ready, let's slowly bring our gaze back to center. And our legs back to center. Placing that left foot back onto the ground. We're going to extend that right heel up towards the sky. So that right leg's nice and long. Oh. Wait for that tractor to go by. So keeping that right leg nice and long, let's slowly let that right leg drift all the way and rest on the earth. Then extending that left leg nice and long to rest on the earth. And it's always nice to see the subtle, difference from side to side. So slowly bending both knees again, placing them back on the earth. Back and neck nice and long. And let's bring that left knee in and then place that strap in the ball of the left foot. And then leading with that left heel, reach it up towards the sky. Oh. So that left foot, left leg's just kind of, being supported by that strap. Elbows are resting on the earth. Get some deep breaths here. Place both straps into that left hand. Right arm straight out by your side, just keeping that supported. We're going to slowly let that left leg drift down. Yeah, way out. Again, making sure that that right leg's still really supported, knees pointing up towards the sky. It's not wonky to either side. Really opening up the channels in this leg, the groin area, letting that blood flow. Now on our next inhale, let's slowly bring that left leg guys. Bring it back up, and then maybe want to drift past center. Ooh. And check out that side again. Don't want to push it, not too much, just to where it stops. Awesome. Let's bring it back to center. Let's bend that left knee. Release that strap. And placing that left leg on top of the right. So our number 4 shape on this side. And then bringing those legs in towards your heart. And let's place that strap behind that right thigh. Again, just to where you stop. So those right toes are still really engaged towards that right knee. Left foot's hanging down to right. No, that's the left toes up towards the left knee. Right toes are hanging down towards the earth. Good. Opening up that left hip. Now it might be that edge is always changing. So if you want to bring those legs in a little bit tighter, or maybe that's, I came in a little bit too hot. I got to ease off on that left hip today, whatever's going on. And just keeping that open communication with your body. Listen to it, what it needs. And we're going to stay here for a couple more deep breaths. And when you're ready, let's bring those legs back down. Placing that right foot back on the earth. Let's get rid of that strap. We're all done. And let's scooch that right hip under and bring our legs over towards the right side of our mat, keeping those shoulders still rooted. Arms are straight out from our shoulders again, but this time let's have the palms facing up towards the sky and adjust your receptivity. Again, you can stay here and look up towards that blue sky, or slowly turn your head to look towards that left thumb. Deep breaths here. Staying here for 3 more deep breaths. With every inhale, see if you can just relax a little bit more. Just let the shoulders relax, let the neck relax, the jaw relax. Let's slowly bring our gaze back to center. And then our legs back to center. And let's reach that left heel up towards the sky. Have it nice and long. Oh. And slowly let that left leg drift all the way onto the earth. And let's let that right leg go nice and long too. Arms and hands are by our sides. And let's turn the palms up towards the sky again in the gesture of receptivity. Couple deep breaths here. And let's take that body scan, just like we did at the beginning of our class, guys. So visualize that beam of light moving from the bottom of your feet up to the crown of your head, just taking in those measurements again, noticing how we're feeling from just a mere 60 minutes ago. Maybe we've even built in some new tensions or stressors and opening up our body, but never pain, never pain. All right, finishing off with that body scan. Let's let everything relax. So letting those feet relax out to the side and the shin, up to the thighs and hips. Taking a big deep breath in and a deeper breath out. Let's move it up to the heart and our shoulders. Moving from the crown of our head down to the bottom of our feet. Everything's nice and relaxed here. Nothing left to do but breathe and relax. Let's start to deepen our breath. Maybe moving the head from side to side, very slowly, mindfully. Start to wiggle your fingers and your toes, rotating your wrist and your ankle. Maybe taking a full body stretch here, just lengthening and opening up towards the sky. Ugh. And let's counterpose that by bringing our knees in towards our heart. Make ourselves into a little ball and just rocking from side to side, releasing and relaxing that lower back. Letting those feet flop onto the ground again. Slowly come onto one side and just stay there for a few breaths. Just letting the asanas or poses wash over you. When you're ready, let's slowly make your way up into seated. And sitting up nice and tall. Excellent. Sit on my blocks. And sitting up nice and tall. Roll those shoulders down and back. And just take a few more moments of tranquility and peace. Bringing our hands into prayer in front of our hearts. And noticing how we're feeling. And taking it into our day. And sharing it with others. Now bringing our thumbs to our third eye. And back down to our hearts. We bow and say, Namaste. Namaste, everyone. And I'm just going to take this off recording.